Welcome. Good to see you. We're doing something a little different tonight. It's still crossing the streams. We're going to bring other streamers on, multiple streamers, hopefully. We're still going to talk about content creation. We're still going to hang out, maybe get some stories or get some perspective, some outlook, things like that. I wanted to explain what's going on a little bit. I, alongside many other people on the Twitch platform, have access to Guest Star, which is a new feature that allows you to bring anyone on Twitch into your stream. Not unlike how I already do it with Crossing the Streams, but I use a totally different solution that works very similarly in some ways. I did a test on it last week when we had Benefits on that was actually using Twitch Guest Star. We're going to keep using it. I'm going to open tonight's show up to fellow streamers, content creators, people in the community who want to talk about content creation, what they're up to, thoughts that they have about content creation, the space, maybe even stories they have if they want. We're running a bit of an experiment in the name of two things. One, like I said, we're testing out Twitch Guest Star some more. And two, I want to do something different today with the show. I wanted to try something different. This will be unique in that in real time, guests can come on and chat with me. Let me know. I'm going to bring Zach in. Zach looks ready. Hey, friendo, I see you. There's ZachMRutledge. Welcome to you.
Wanted to see what it looks like. Oh, that's cool. So do you do the overlays then?
I did the overlays.
Okay.
But it's a browser source.
Okay.
And basically, I can have 4 static sources or 5 static guest sources, and you can slot them. There's slots. So like, let's say I have a scene that has slot 1 and slot 2 and slot 3. The third person or the second person leaves, I can move the other person into that slot. So what's harder when you do this sort of thing is you're kind of stuck figuring out what sources go when and where in your overlays. Mm-hmm. Whereas all you can say is, here's all my sources. I can move the people within those sources as needed. So you're not like dropping new browser sources all the time. So
gotcha.
It's working really well. How was it for you getting in?
It was easy once I had Chrome. I wasn't sure where the notification was, but once I found the notification, it was just a simple click, and then it's set up the same way that you would do StreamYard, or the interface is almost identical. You pick the camera source you want, the audio source you want, and you're off and running.
Mm-hmm. And what's cool about this feature is they just added this in the latest push on it. If you look on my channel below, you're now linked below my like channel info.
Really?
It shows active guests. Your name is name and profile.
Darn, that's cool as heck.
Yeah. And you can have up to five guests. So 6 people in a call, basically, if you add the person running it. So
that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. Very cool. I think it's going to roll out to everyone here within a month or 2.
Yeah.
They officially called it beta as of the other 2 days ago. How you doing, man?
Good. This is actually a fun idea. I wasn't sure who else was going to join, but I've been sitting here grinding Destiny all day. I should have been working. I should have been editing all day, and I needed to blow off some steam. So,
dude, I hear you. I was grinding all last week and then into part of this week, and then work got crazy. And so I was still grinding late at night with you guys, but it's the last today I haven't had a chance to get in. You're saying this is a good idea. Thank you. I've been wanting, I've been talking about the idea of bringing on multiple people as well as doing different formats of the show. I still had the idea of Follow Friday, which is still something I want to do, but I think the timing has just been weird for me to try to spin up a whole new show on top of what I already do. But I wanted to
Mhm.
do this where I could just even bring folks who have been on this show before or people that I'm super familiar with, where we could talk about like content or Twitch or streaming or whatever it is we want to talk about. But how has your stream stuff been going?
It's been going good. It's still the same, for me it's I think it's going to be always an issue of consistency. Uh,
Yeah.
travel schedules and whatnot just really biting into that time. If I had it my way, I would stream every single freaking day, like
Dude.
that would be amazing. I'll tell you this much: I sure as heck would get through that Lego backlog a lot faster if I streamed every single day.
Mhm.
But it's just not particularly in the cards right now. But come January, who knows? We'll
Yeah.
see.
Dude, I hear you on the whole consistency thing. I'm in the same boat. Like, well, the only thing that I can reasonably even commit myself to is crossing the streams because
Hmm.
I'm like I can at least set an hour to, or it's more like 2 to 3 hours. I can set that much time a week. All the prep time that goes into it, reaching out to people, getting people in and set up. Like I can commit to that, but that's kind of where like my upper limit is in terms of like, can I throw on a stream today? Can I do that? Can I put on a 3-hour stream? Probably not. So, dude, I would be streaming every day if I could, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's because I don't know. It's a fun, um, even with all the jump scares and shenanigans, it's still a fun, relaxing release that allows somebody like me to scratch that creative itch. And it just it's not, I never look at it like a financial thing or anything like that. And that's kind of what I've always been waiting on to do a full-time kind of thing, is to be in a position where financially it wouldn't affect us too much,
Mhm.
to move to like a full-time kind of thing and pursue that type of passion. But and I got very jealous of director Chronic, who's a fantastic content creator here on Twitch, and he just pulled the trigger on going like full time. He's doing kind of an everyday kind of thing. And there are other people like Chris Perillo that somehow that's it. He started back in 2021, I think, where he
Mhm.
or 2020, where he committed to an every day. I'm going to stream every single day, and it's impressive. That's a heck of. I mean, I'm talking every single. Like it's not an like every week with a day off, the same day off. No, it is a 7 day a week. That's kind of bananas if you think
Yeah.
about it. That consistent.
I don't know I don't know how I was able to fit that into my own routine, but at one point I was able to when I first really got into streaming. And that
Mm,
was for a solid 13, 14 months
mhm,
where almost 7 days a week I was live. Save like
mm,
Christmas, couple holidays here and there, but like every night like clockwork, 8 p.m. Pacific till at least 11 p.m. to midnight, playing games and hanging out with people.
yeah,
I don't know, maybe it's because I was less busy, didn't have as many responsibilities at work and at home. I think about that because when Director Chronic was saying how he's gonna do the full time, and then you bring up Chris Perlow, I was like, man, I miss being able to do that. But I look at my schedule now, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way I can even. The most I could do, if I'm lucky, is an hour, which is what when
yeah,
I was doing lunches like the last couple of weeks up until this week when I got really busy.
right, right.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's and like today, sure, I could have probably hopped on or whatever, but I kind of, as inconsistent as I am, I want to try to stay consistent with the schedule that I've established.
Yeah.
And so it's not trying to throw in extra spur of the moment streams or anything like that. It's not trying to, because I still feel like that
Right.
type of consistency can still go a long way, that if you can be expected to be there. Now I had to cancel Fridays, life showed up and I had to do some adulting, and but it's you get to the point where if you're watching your favorite streamers, on Monday at 11 a.m. local's gonna be on,
Right.
and I know I can go hang out there for the rest of the day while I'm working, you know, and that's cool. And having that kind of consistent, and frankly, local has been one of, I would say, local out of our little Lego community, local, Ace, and Fred have been probably three of the most consistent streamers out of our entire group. And I gotta applaud them, because they're killing it because of their consistency. And it's amazing to see them work, and to see their passion for it, to be able to commit that time on a consistent basis. It's really impressive.
I agree with you 100%. And yeah, we have a local, we have Ace, we have Fred. It's no stroke of luck, right? They are three of the most I would consider watched people in our community,
Hmm.
and they're also some three of the most consistent people. So
Hmm.
it's like one for one. So
Hmm.
yeah, like completely.
Well, look at, I mean, Disco's here in chat, right? I mean, Disco can attest to this. Look what's happened to his consistent Friday night trivia night. It has grown and grown and grown. Every Friday night now, more and more people are showing up because he's consistently doing it. And I don't know, Disco, I don't know if you've noticed that, like if you've really recognized that, but by being consistent with that Friday night trivia night, that schedule, more and more people know, I know where I can be Friday night between this time and this time to have some fun. And
Yeah. You
he's,
come to
again,
expect it. Yeah.
bravo to Disco for that consistency.
Yeah, it's absolutely, you hear it all the time when you hear, especially like if you're one of those people who are trying to figure out how to get better at content and all that, you hear be consistent. And I think a lot of people start to gloss over that because they're like, yeah, 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 everyone says it. But it's so true because people, like your example of Disco Duck, it is 100%, people expect that now. Like, oh, Disco's doing trivia tonight because he does it every week. I know where to go. I know what to expect.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Andy says, do you think if you're a super busy, popular streamer, you're going to stream more as opposed to someone with a quiet chat, you're not going to stream as much?
I would think so. I would think if you're streaming because you want that interaction, that's gonna get you excited and get you energized to keep coming back, as opposed to coming in and streaming to a quiet chat. But you have to look internally as to why you decided to start streaming. What was that catalyst that said, this is why I want to do this? There are people out there that just really want, I don't know, like I said, kind of a creative outlet to show off work, or some people look at it and say, I'm gonna play this game anyway, and if I can make one person's day entertaining because I'm playing that game live on the internet for them to watch, awesome. There are a lot of people out there, honestly, that look for the smaller streamer community because they know they're going to be able to get more of a one-on-one communication with the person streaming. The one thing I would always suggest, though, is if you are that smaller streamer and you don't have a lot of engagement in your chat, don't forget about it, because you got to keep looking, because if that one person shows up and decides to say hello and it takes you 15 minutes to say hello back, they're not going to hang out very long
Yeah.
if they're there to communicate. keep that in mind. That's what I've seen that. Like I've seen because you again, you tend to find me in some of the smaller streams. I don't do a ton of chatting. Every once in a while the streamer will say something that ignites a conversation in me, and so I want to contribute. But I have popped in to a chat where nothing's going on, and just to let somebody know that, hey, you've got somebody watching.
Yeah.
I'll say hello, and they're not even paying attention, and it takes them 10 minutes to say hello back. That's not good.
Yeah.
If that's the way you're going to be, make video on YouTube where you don't get the live interaction.
A lot of people forget that. I've been in a chat. Actually, there is a chat that I joined last week where the person had maybe 5 people watching. And so I was like, I'll dip in, see what they're up to. They were playing a game. One of the games I was just checking out at the time. And I was like, hey, what's up? Nothing. And it was like 5 minutes. And they were just kind of playing, and they'd say something once in a while about the game. And then I was like, okay, next channel, right? And because people get on Twitch for various reasons, but often it's like they want to interact with the other people in the chat room and the streamer. And so
even in this format, like you're doing a good job of monitoring. We're having, you and I are having a conversation, but you're still doing a good job as the host, monitoring the chat and engaging with them and inviting them into the conversation. But how many streamers get out there and it's not that they're being quiet, they're just talking to themselves almost, to the point where they don't recognize, like they forget again. So it's not that they're being silent or quiet. They've just forgotten because they've gotten lost in their own thoughts to look back at that chat. And again, quickly recognize, hey, how you, then you can get right back on your thought.
Yeah.
But if you want to grow and retain an audience, that interaction with them, that communication, that direct communication with them is important. Not just talking to yourself.
Yeah, to your point earlier about saying if you're going to not talk to the chat, make a YouTube video. That's also what people do when they go to YouTube, right? Is they go to YouTube if they're not interested in interacting. Like you can consume video many different ways, but if you boil it down to YouTube and Twitch, people go to Twitch because they want to engage with someone in real time. Andy's Lego asks, do you think that games make chat concentration harder?
I can't do it.
It's harder for me.
I don't know how you do it. I see these, these guys, and that's what makes them amazing content creators on a platform like this, is that they, these bigger streamers that have, whatever, thousands of people watching, typically game streamers, and they're going like crazy. Like DC's one of the best I've ever freaking seen. I'm not even like blowing smoke. DC has the ability to play very engaging games that require a lot of concentration because you're constantly moving, having to monitor everybody else, what's going on. And that dude can still turn and find every single the only thing I can think of is that he must have a monitor the size of Mount Rushmore where he can see
just can't miss anything.
every line of chat. Because I swear to God, that dude never misses a comment. I'm like, how are
you getting everything? Yeah. It's to me, Bree points out Bricks O'Brien's wonderful example of content creator being able to full on play a game with that while engaging chat, which is true. I agree with that. Like I've watched him, like he's running around in Mario, or he's racing around in Mario Kart, and he's just talking to chat. No problem. He catches comments as they come through.
Yeah, Brian's really good. Brian's really, really good at it too.
It's a skill. And like Zach said, it's just one of those things that you like. I find it difficult too. And actually, I think that's why Lego was so appealing to me, because it's like, oh, I can stop and actually read chat. Whereas if any game I'm playing, I have to figure out like when's a good time to glance at chat while I'm playing so I can still talk to them.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Hi.
Ladies and gentlemen, TerrificAsheriffic, variety streamer,
Hello.
crafter, gamer. For those that don't know who you are, I gave you a brief intro, but who are you, Ash?
It's a really great question. Who am I?
You're
Well,
merely an illusion.
I am an illusion. This is all fake. I'm really just a part of the Matrix or something stupid like that. No, I'm Ashley. I go by Terrific online, and I consider myself like a true variety streamer, and that
Mhm.
I like to do. I've been leaning towards like more cozy games as of late, just because I feel like, I mean, number one, they're just kind of fun and silly to play. Number 2, gives me a little bit more leeway to just, like, kinda chill and hang out with chat a little bit better compared to, like, maybe other forms of gaming that's out there. It's really hard for me to concentrate with certain video games. So I do a lot of that. Crafting, I've been getting into, like, embroidery, me doing some kind of, like, Halloween type watercolors here soon. And then I sometimes like to build Lego, though it's been a couple of months
Sometimes.
since I've done a Lego.
Well, welcome, Ash. Welcome to the conversation. For those that are new here or just
Thanks.
joining us, crossing the streams. This is the first time we've crossed more than 2 streams at once, so it's unprecedented. Hopefully things don't blow up. But welcome to you, Ash. We're talking about all kinds of things here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I hopped out of the shower and I saw you were on. I'm like, "Oh, well, let me, throw the hair up or something and I'll come
nice.
on here." So,
Well, I'm
fresh-faced.
I'm glad you could join us.
I'm
How's
happy
I'm
to.
just really happy that Mr. Terrific had pants on.
yeah,
That could have
Oh
been.
my
man,
god,
that would have
right?
been a moment on this channel if that was pushed live. I'm just saying.
Oh my god. Wow. What a sight.
That's
What
why
a sight.
backstage is a thing, I guess. So
He came in, he was like, "Wait a minute, are you live?" He's like, "Wait, you're not live." I'm like, "No,
kind of.
it's gonna be." And
It's
he's like,
gonna
"Oh,
be.
shoot.
Yeah, no, I saw him just like
I
turn
didn't know you
around
were
and
gonna be
walk out.
online tonight."
That was so great. People are commenting on the other beta, the super cheer thing. The super
Mhm.
have you guys seen that?
Mhm. Um,
Yeah.
what's the other one? The it's the what do they call it? The hype train, um,
Boost train.
boost train. Yeah, thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah, boost
The
train.
boost train?
Have you
That's
seen
really
that,
cool
Ash?
too.
No,
So
I
it
don't think I heard about the boost train.
so select people again are in the boost train beta. There's a chance when you get a hype train, it's not all the time. There's a chance that if you get in a hype train, it becomes a boost train. And based on the hype level that you complete, the number of people that will see your stream will be increased. And you will
Oh.
be pushed to the recommended page for people who haven't seen
Oh,
your stream before. So I
that's
think
pretty
it's
cool.
2,000 people if you complete level 5 boost train. 2,000 people will see your stream in the recommended section.
Wow.
So I know Jane was in it. I was there for his.
Jing- I think did
So
Ace get it or no? I don't remember if Ace got
don't
it or not.
know. I haven't seen one for
It may only
Ace.
be a partner thing.
Maybe. I don't have it.
They seem to be closing that gap between partner perks versus affiliate perks. Like
Oh
it
yeah.
used to be, squad streaming and stuff like that used to only be a partner perk, and now with guest star, that kind of moves that away, and it,
Yeah.
again, closes that gap a
Mhm.
little bit. They added the animated emotes and the follower emotes, so to increase your emote pack, that again, partners kind of had advantage for because they had more emote slots, and now they've found ways to bypass that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That partner line is moving quite a bit between partner and affiliate.
Mhm.
Yeah. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I'm fine with it because I don't see myself hitting partner anytime soon. So that
As
I'll take all
he,
the perks that they want to give me.
yeah,
I never
as
saw myself getting to the point where, like, before the new split, changes occurring, I was like, "I don't think I'm ever gonna make it to that 70-30 split to begin with anyway."
yeah,
So
there is only
it
1,500 people affected by that. Let,
Right, yeah.
let's be clear. I mentioned this in a Discord to some folks. Out of the millions of streamers, 1,500 people are affected by this. Now, those are probably some of the most watched people on Twitch. So like to underscore the importance of that, but it's important in a lot of different ways, not because it affects everyone directly, but it leads to a lot of like knock-on effects for, like the thought that some people are going to leave Twitch because of it, which fair, right? Twitch is the only platform that takes half of the revenue that the streamer makes.
Yeah.
So.
And the pushing for more ads and everything. And it's not exactly viewer friendly.
Yeah.
To say the least.
I've been getting, I don't know how you guys, what your feedback has been, but for whatever reason lately, I've been getting more and more people and have been seeing more and more people in chats complaining about ads.
Yeah.
Can't hear you, ads are going, whatever. And in the 2 years that I've been doing this, I've never really had that happen. So I'm not sure because again, I'm not seeing that. Like, so I don't really know what has changed and what is going on there. I'm not getting them. Most of the people I watch, I'm subscribed to, so I don't really see that side of it. But I feel like I've seen more and more people in other streamers chat saying hold on ads, or I've had people in mine say hold on ads.
Are they pre-rolls or are they scheduled for you?
I don't think they're scheduled. I don't know. That is, I don't even know how to do that. Like, I gotta argue. I've never looked.
Yeah,
I've never looked.
I'll show you just later, just so you're. So a lot of people have them scheduled now. I know Ash does, right? Is that right, Ash? Yours is scheduled.
So I have mine to go for just 30 seconds once per hour. So I try to have it at like the top of the hour, a 30-second ad. But at the 2-hour mark, I typically take like a 5-minute break. I'll run like 3 minutes of ads just to stop pre-rolls from occurring for anybody new coming in. But I just don't want like, I don't know, 45 to a minute and a half ads going, I don't know, like every 15 minutes or so on my stream.
Yeah.
I try to limit them for everybody, but
it's good.
I mean, it's unfortunate because I feel for people, not everybody can afford a sub, especially right now. I mean, times are tough for a lot of folks. So maybe that extra $5 go a long way. So it kind of stinks, if somebody can't sub to you and they're having to deal with a couple of ads here and there, but I do try to limit them at least for the majority of people coming in.
Yeah. The ad manager is weird.
I need to look at that. I'm probably gonna.
I can talk you through it. Like, I know I end up talking about this a lot in other people's channels as a chatter. The rule of thumb is basically, okay, I guess let me format this in a way that makes sense. So you can either schedule your ads or not. Either way, there's a setting in that section of your dashboard that says pre-roll ads. Either keep them on or disable them when I run them. Most people, as one should, is click disable them when I run them, because then that gives a little more power to you as the streamer. Now, this is where people start to get confused because they really don't know how that works once we get past that one piece of information. So you can run any number of ads in terms of time. Like you can run up to, I think, 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever. But the thing about it, for people running those ads, the benefits are based on how many seconds are shown. 30 seconds of ads will be 10 minutes of pre-roll free. So 30, I read like example, for example, Ash runs her 30-second ads for 10 minutes for whatever reason. If she gets raided, someone browses into her stream, or they just load it up directly to her page. For 10 minutes, no pre-rolls. None. Once that 10 minutes are up, pre-rolls are fair game. So she gets raided, whatever, etc. All those examples, they will see a pre-roll if they haven't seen a pre-roll in a while. Now, I don't know what the magic number is of how many minutes since that person has seen a pre-roll. It's very possible it could be a very short amount of time. They are forced through ads at that point. If you want to prevent longer chunks of time, I think it's here actually.
Yeah, they don't make. I finally found it. They also kind of bury it in.
They bury it.
Setting.
Yeah.
Is it's under affiliate, and then it's all the way at the bottom of that screen.
So 1 minute 30 seconds of ad break is 30 minutes of pre-roll free. And that's the max. If you try to run 3-minute block back to back, that will not push them together. You're still only getting a 30-minute pre-roll free. So in a perfect world, if you were a streamer who wants to prevent pre-rolls, you would run 90 seconds of ads every 30 minutes to prevent pre-rolls. Now that sucks for the people who wouldn't see them anyway, right? Because you're pausing your stream for 90 seconds. But that's what you got to weigh it against. Most of my people who watch me, they're subbed. So I don't run ads like that. I don't run them hardcore because most of the people who watch me are subbed.
Yeah.
So, but they have this whole ad incentive thing where you can increase your revenue share of ads if you turn on the scheduler, which is Twitch's cheeky way of saying, hey, turn on our scheduler, you'll get a bigger share of revenue. But then that means as a streamer, you're somewhat beholden to that schedule. You can snooze it for a certain amount of time, but that's how it works. So for anyone who's wanted to know how that works, that's how it works. So I actually made a YouTube video on it too. I'm not on a schedule, and I run pre-rolls when I take, or not pre-rolls, I run my ad blocks when I take a break.
Yeah. I run them as soon as I hit start on my stream. So there's like 3-minute ads as soon as I start. And then it'll be like 2 hours. I take my break, run them again. And I think that helps a little bit, but
It helped,
I
yeah.
still hate that that's something that I have to do.
Yeah.
That we all
Yeah.
have to do.
Yeah.
I saw Stay Alive in chat mention how, they wish that it was kind of like YouTube and that I could click, skip ads after maybe like a certain period of time.
Yeah.
But I don't know like the in and outs of how that would even be possible for Twitch to do, even if they could do it, or how they would implement that. But that would be lovely. I agree. 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be nice to skip it. They're testing some stuff out. Have you seen the places where like they shrink the size of the stream and then a banner ad gets pushed below your video?
Yeah.
I could live with that.
I
could live with that if that was like the standard.
100%.
Like a banner ad underneath.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that's not just a thing. Not a fan. Not a fan. When you joined, Ash, I meant to ask you how's everything going on your channel? How's your stream and all that?
I think it's going pretty well. I forget where I am right now on follows. I think I'm at like 780 or something like that, which is crazy.
Let's go.
Because I remember just having like my 500 follow celebration back in like May of this year. So that's pretty wild. But I don't know. I'm really enjoying myself still. Updated some things with my channel, like new overlays, all that kind of fun stuff, as a way
Sweet.
to kind of transition into getting new emotes and then finally getting a YouTube channel up and going here shortly, which I'm very nervous about. But diversifying that portfolio a little bit. But no, it's been going great. It's been going great. Chat's fantastic. Everybody's fantastic that goes in there. Yeah, I'm just still shocked how everything has progressed in the year and a half now that I've been consistent with streaming. It's wild, honestly. I'm really appreciative for everybody who supports me, just hangs out, lurks even, even if you're not able to chat all that much. I'm just really thankful for the community here.
That's Have you seen a influx of followers from your TikTok content?
It's slowed down a little bit ever since the TikTok algorithms changed.
I've heard you talk about
It's
this.
slowed down quite a bit.
So
I still get them.
What exactly happened for you
with TikTok?
Yeah.
Well, I started it because, it was a good way to just kind of like garner some new followers, if they want to come over and check me out. It was a fantastic avenue for that.
Yeah.
Met a few cool people through there. But I think TikTok's algorithms changing to where it's more I guess, search engine based as opposed to like hashtags or like trending sounds and everything. They want longer form content these days. So I'm trying to like change up how I put those TikToks out and everything.
Mhm.
But like the amount of views that I'm getting and likes and comments, I mean, I used to get maybe like anywhere from like 600 to like 1,000 plus views, couple hundred likes or whatever on certain videos, and now I'm at 100 likes or 100 views or something.
Wow, what a difference,
Um,
though.
it is, yeah, it's a lot less, but I mean, on the flip side, I still enjoy making all that content. I'm having fun with it. I'm like, I'll find my rhythm again. It's fine as long as I'm still enjoying what it is that I'm doing,
Right.
and it doesn't feel like a chore.
Do you think
So
that's
be
gonna
it.
frustrate people on the platform though to stop? Because that started to be what was the downfall of Vine back in the day, was them changing the way that they wanted their content
Mm.
Yeah.
displayed and how they handled it, and then all of a sudden Vine just died.
I don't know, though. TikTok has a lot of they've picked up a lot of momentum, so I'm not sure. I mean,
Yeah,
not to say Vine didn't. Vine was doing great at the time too,
yeah.
Mhm.
so I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that will affect them.
It just starts to become a such a similarity between Instagram and Instagram Reels versus TikTok and long form content on TikTok.
Mhm.
And then you've got the YouTube Shorts as well. It
Right.
starts to really
Yeah.
cross pollinate, and you know, eh, especially when they all talk to each other. It's like you can post, and that's the great thing about TikTok is you can post it from TikTok and it'll auto post to your Instagram stories, and you can. I think at that point you can share it as a reel, maybe, or something like that. I think the only place it doesn't go automatically is YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, I've also heard that, like, if you post your TikToks with a watermark, Instagram suppresses those views or something, so it's like,
Really?
"Well, okay."
How true is that?
I don't know, I haven't
I
really
always
looked
feel
into it.
like we
I
hear
think
these weird things, and I'm like, I don't like. I was like, I could see that being real, but I could also see that not being
yeah, I
real.
mean, look,
The tech
Instagram,
exists.
I like taking photos. I've just decided I don't think I'm gonna grow on Instagram. I just have fun posting, like, random little pictures here and there, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna leave that as that.
Yeah.
And my main focus is more on like the TikTok, hover, which I keep forgetting about exists. I do have a hover. I just haven't
I don't
posted
Yeah.
in
think
like
Hover exists anymore. I think Hover died.
No
I
way.
wait, did
think
it really?
I think they did. I
Like how by how
Ace
what do you mean?
Ace and I were talking about it, like because they had a Twitch um presence as well, where they were showcasing stuff, because that was basically where they were getting everything. And I think the Twitch presence has gone away. Um,
Really?
I have I haven't posted to it at all, but I think Hover went kaput.
Wow.
Really?
Huh.
That's not entirely surprising to me. Um, I don't know.
I didn't
I like
understand that
posting stuff on
platform.
there. I posted a video on there like I don't know, like 2 or 3 days ago. I'm like, hi, I forgot that this app exists. And I got like 5 likes on it. I'm like, hell yeah. Love that
We're
thing, and then
doing
I
it.
haven't posted there since. But I didn't
That's
know it was dead. It's
I
been
haven't
months.
I haven't looked at it in months. I tried posting some crossing the streams clips to it, and I got some engagement on it. It was really actually pretty good. But I
Yeah.
was like, this is not a part of my routine. Like, I
Mm-mm.
personally don't use it, so I didn't feel like posting to it since I wasn't using it as a consumer. And so I wasn't feeling it, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I had trouble editing videos on there too. Every now and then, like,
Mm,
editing wouldn't really work all that well, so I was like, I'll mess with it later," and then later turned into 2 weeks later, and then it turned into, like, 3 months later, so
right.
it was like it's a back burner kinda thing, but now I guess I don't have to worry about it, so
I didn't
that's great,
know
rest in peace.
I didn't know it was gone, but it doesn't surprise me.
I mean, it's still active. Like I can still see things
Right.
on it,
But
but
it's
I
not
don't.
like
Yeah,
doing things.
yeah.
Hmm. Well, rest in peace, Hover.
Yeah.
You
Rip.
lived a long life, girly.
Cover. That's hilarious.
That's Man,
Maybe I'll just go on and install it tonight.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. Of any of like the things that I spend the most time on, it would be TikTok. Like
Yeah.
outside of Twitch, but like Hover. No, I didn't. I tried. I really did. I just couldn't get it. It felt very like follow for followy almost.
Mm. Mhm.
That was my experience with it. It just kind of felt like people would follow you on Hover, so you would follow them. But then that's kind of where it ended. It like I would see some random offline Twitch follows from it, but not many. And
Mhm.
obviously, again, admittedly, I didn't do a whole lot on there. So like that's my caveat. I didn't do as much. But from what I could tell as an observer, it felt like it was really made for streamers. It was made for and it was only made for streamers, which meant that
Mhm.
it was just a bunch of streamers trying to get other people to follow them who happen to be streamers.
right. Which is really not the best audience. Like I mean, no offense to all of my fantastic streamers out there, but like that's more we've talked about it on Crossing the Streams. Like we need more viewers than
Mhm.
just streamer viewers
Mm-hmm.
to help build those audiences. And Hover, it was an interesting experiment. The last Twitch live that they did was 2 months ago.
Right.
But it was it was a snapshot for me. It was a snapshot into a personality of a streamer, kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff they got going on. And I love finding new people to hang out with and participate in their streams and stuff like that. But that was, like you said, that was really all it was just streamers finding other streamers, and that's not
Yeah.
necessarily a great way to build your audience.
Right. It definitely felt like I wasn't going to see any users who weren't other streamers. And I think that's part of what turned me off because it's great to have other creators to be in touch with. That's great. But like, I didn't feel like there was a, a UA for anyone, user acquisition for anyone that wasn't just wanting to find people to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Finding other streamers entertaining and like-minded streamers, it does. I guess you can use that as a way to potentially grow your audience because they themselves have an audience. And then if they find you entertaining, then they're just like we do. We're so adamant about pushing out other streamers to our communities and saying, Asheriffic is a fantastic streamer. Freaking go follow her because you're
Should
going to have a
totally
good
go do
time.
that.
You
Just
should
saying.
totally go do that. More and
mhm.
more is fantastic. Like we spend the time saying more and more is fantastic. Go follow him. Go hit that heart button and go follow him.
Mhm.
And so finding other streamers and collaborating that in that sort of way, I guess it does help.
Yeah,
It's not any exposure is good exposure in that sense, I guess.
that's true. Man, it's been a while since I've had you both on Crossing the Streams.
I know.
Yeah,
God.
it feels like a long time ago.
What are you on? 30, 31?
Yeah, we released 31 last week. Technically, this would be 32.
That's bananas.
I have Jedi Greg on next week, and I
Oh,
have Metric Seconds on the following week. We'll see how far we go.
Look at you go. Aw.
I'm excited that it's just still. One, I'm excited that I'm still doing it, like that I find joy in doing it, and then two, I'm excited
Yeah.
that there are people who still want to do it because those were my two requirements. I was like, I
Mhm.
need to enjoy it, and I need people who still want to be like who are interested in being on this show. When I start getting the vibe that people don't really want to be on this show anymore, maybe we'll call it. So we'll see.
It's
We'll
it's
see.
awesome though because you started in that brick building community, but then you ventured out to more variety type streamers like Ash, and then went completely off the reservation with
Benny
with
Fitz.
Chris Perillo and
Chris
Benny Fitz.
Perillo. Yeah.
Oh my God, Benny Fitz thing. Gee, Merry Christmas.
I don't know if you. I love that episode. It was a good one.
Yeah. So I think that from a viewer standpoint, I like that. I like that idea of really hitting so many different types of communities and personalities and content and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be awesome. Jang, where are you at, man? We talked about it a month
He's
ago.
calling you out.
I know you were in chat. I saw you.
Jang told me he will try. He will try. So we will when he's able to. I told him no pressure.
Just skip a Destiny night one time. Jang, please report to Moramore's stream. I repeat, Jang, please report to Moramore's crossing the streams.
I was going to joke that we tell him it's a Destiny raid. We just tell him it's a Destiny raid, but then it's really just crossing the streams.
Like that R1 like you told me to, man.
We're like, hey, just join this call for this Destiny raid. Turn on your camera. Don't ask why.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. No, I just want to thank you too again. One, for being here right now, but also just taking the time to get on a show that honestly is not, in my opinion, it's finally establishing itself. Early on, it was a big question mark of whether or not it would even land, in my opinion. And so thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
Talk shows are hard to do on Twitch and
Yeah.
still retain an audience, because it becomes a conversation between two or more people. And we talked about this out of the get-go tonight, still interacting with that chat, right? But that's what's good, is I feel like you still have an opportunity. You still have the ability, not the opportunity, the ability to engage with your chat while having that conversation and just work those comments into the overall flow of the conversation.
It's hard. I try. It's really hard. I know sometimes it doesn't feel good. Thank you. Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but I really I try to walk the line of like, how can I keep this engaging for folks watching live while still doing a talk show? So I don't know. It's tough. And honestly, when I sat down to do this, I was trying to figure out if it was viable, like if it made sense. I'm still wondering. I mean, it feels good, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see as it hopefully grows how sustainable it is.
Or hear me out.
Okay.
I know exactly how you keep this engaging.
Okay.
And fun and entertaining. The entire time you're doing it crossing the stream.
Okay.
Wear your underwear on your head.
Oh, just that.
Just that.
Oh, just that. Okay.
What was that?
I'll do it.
I mean, that sounds like a winner right there.
Ash is like, yeah.
I think this is solid advice. Should I go get underwear to throw on my head too?
We are a copycat community, streaming community. We'll all be wearing underwear on our heads.
That sounds great.
Is that the meta?
End of October.
I don't have underwear. I could put this lobster on my head.
There you go.
That'll help.
There you go.
We're all getting on Amazon right now and buying lobsters. You know what's happening, so we can all wear lobsters on.
It's
amazing.
It's very Vogue.
Yeah, I love it, Ash.
Thank you. It's my
love it.
Friend. Appreciate it.
With your with both of your channels and streams, since I've last spoke to you, what and you guys kind of talked a little bit about this when we caught up, but how have things been? How do you feel? I'm not trying to make this about crossing streams, but how do you feel since doing this show, whether the show had anything to do with it or not? How has your outlook changed on content creation, if at all?
Ladies first.
No, you first. I'm a shy girl. I like to be second.
You just put a lobster on your head and you're saying you're a shy girl. Okay.
I was hiding behind the lobster.
Sure. More. being on Crossing the Streams changed my life.
No, it didn't. That's okay if it didn't.
You can put that in the listing.
Sure. Change Zach M. Rutledge's life.
Yeah. Just quote that and then put it under. I'll put it in a review on iTunes. Being on Crossing the Streams changed my life.
Do it.
It's crazy because it was. Well, I'm trying to think. Your first person was Fred, or was it Ace? Ace. Then Fred. Then me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was early on.
It was early.
So it's been cool to just, like you said. I mean, now you're 31. Like, that's amazing. That's bananas, dude. Like,
yeah,
in really a short amount of time, because you've, again, consistency. You've been consistent, and it's been a weekly thing, and you've been able to bang them out, like clockwork, and the quality hasn't suffered because of it, which is super cool. It's super duper cool. But where I was, back when we did that episode versus now, it's a lot of, I feel like it's a lot of the, again, kind of status quo, which I'm fine with. I'm very comfortable with where I am in my Twitch streaming hobby. I get to meet and talk to and hang out with a bunch of rad people like TerrificAsheriffic and you and Jang and AZ and Fred and Ace and so many others. And it's super dope. I'm actually really bummed. I had to finally back out of TwitchCon. Just at the end, kind of the 11th hour here. Luckily, after I explained why to the Twitch gods, they actually refunded me my money. But
that's good.
But it bums me out that I'm not going to get to see some of these people again in person, which is really what going to TwitchCon is all about. Is just getting to hang out with your buddies.
Very cool. I'm sorry that you couldn't make it, man.
It sucks, but I mean, it was just one of those, life. Darn adulting.
I hear you. I didn't make the plans, and I'm in the middle of some hardcore project stuff at work. So I was like, didn't have the mental capacity to make the plans to do it anyway. So I just didn't. I'm hoping next year.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm thinking next year. We'll see. Like I said, we'll see kind of where January takes me, and then potentially next year. I know some of us are talking very heavily about Brick World next year and stuff like that. So,
that'd be fun.
What about you, Ash?
Oh, I just want to say, I remember the night we were going to do Crossing the Streams, how incredibly nervous I was beforehand. Like, I kept saying I wanted to throw up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Little bundle of nerves I was. I will say, like, I used to feel that way before, like, most of my streams. Ever since then, I feel like I've mellowed out a little bit more before starting a stream. And I'm a little less, I don't know, tensed up beforehand. Being super duper shy and super duper introverted. I know you can't tell, but I am that person.
Are you that way
on Twitch? Is I'm more extroverted here on Twitch. I'm definitely myself, but I'm like myself if you like got to know me after a couple of drinks, probably. And we're like besties for a couple of years. But I've definitely mellowed out a little bit more and just kind of let it all loose and just be more myself as we progress along, and it's been wonderful.
Good.
Like I said, the community has grown quite a bit from where it was whenever I last chatted with you on here, which has been lovely. And I'm just excited to see how far I'll progress within like the coming months into next year. Don't know what that's going to look like for me, but I'm happy. I'm very excited for it. And I can only hope that, the trajectory is still, in an upwards motion. So yeah, good stuff, friend.
I'm really stoked to see where you all are at, since like we did an episode of Crossing the Streams together, And the only reason why I asked that question is because every time I talk to one of you guys on this show, it continues to shape and evolve my perception of making things, whether it's live content or video or anything like that. And I always get a little something from every person, right? And the only reason I ask is just I wanted to see how that might have impacted you all. And it's cool seeing you all grow that, naturally, with or without the show. I think that it's really cool that I can look at an episode, like rewatch a ZachMRutledge episode or a TerrificAsheriffic episode, and it's literally a snapshot of where you were like mentally at the time doing whatever it is you were doing. And then I talk to a lot of you on a regular basis, whether it's in your streams or via Discord, and it's cool to see where you are now compared to that snapshot. And I'm always looking at that for myself, right? Where I was a year ago, or where I was on the first episode of Crossing the Streams, or my last big stream. Like, I think it's really cool to we have documented knowledge of what, where y'all were. And I think that's just a fascinating thing to point out. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
It's nice because I don't remember. I barely remember last week, but I don't remember. It just feels like time, and I honestly believe it has a lot to do with Twitch and in keeping the Twitch schedule and all that. But time seems to have been flying by.
Oh yeah,
over the last 2 years, and it's just like all of a sudden, I'm sitting here thinking we're like almost into October of 2022, and I'm like, we've only got a couple months left of 2022. That's weird. What happened? And so it all starts to blend together for me. Like, I know I hit some like I'm sitting here looking at my follower number right now, and that's just blowing me away. That should not exist. And I don't remember like where I was when I was on that episode with you, but it's just crazy to me that, like Ash said, that this growth has just continued over all these months.
Yeah. It's wild too, because sometimes they'll go in and take clips. I've been making a bunch of clips from previous streams for like future YouTube, TikTok use and everything. And I was looking through it, like clips taken from, I think it was like April or May of last year when I started on here again, and just looking at like little baby streamer Ashley, like my poor quality setup, terrible mic, terrible lighting, terrible everything. But she's just chugging along doing her thing. I'm like, look at you, girl.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine, sweetie.
I know, like snap. It's like, look at that girl. I still have some self-doubts here and there, but I'm like, look how freaking far you've come. Look how far all of us have come.
This has been an incredible discussion so far with Zach and Ash. In fact, this is barely even halfway through the conversation. So this is where we're going to call it the end of part 1. And then tune in next time for part 2, where we bring on a couple other guests and we keep talking about content creation, Twitch, and all the things we've been up to. Thanks for listening to this episode, and we'll see you next time.